Thank you, Julie, for being with me today. I'm so excited just to jam with you and connect with you and talk about your experience with us co-creating, collaborating during the mentorship lab. And I would just love for you to take a moment to just share like who you are, why you're here, and what you're building. And then I'd love to just ask you some questions.
Of course. I'm so happy to be here with you. And yeah, I love that you said collaborating and co-creating, because that's absolutely what the experience was like. So I'm excited to talk about it. So my name is Julie Santiago, and I work with women. I used to be a Wall Street trader. I kind of woke up one day and realized that I had built this life and had climbed this ladder, but it was the wrong ladder. And so my journey really was about finding myself, like finding my heart, finding my true self. And so now that's the journey that I take women on. So I work with women who are kind of at a crossroads in their lives, at a transition point. They may feel like there's something more, but aren't really sure what it is. And all the work we do is about helping these women kind of turn back into themselves and shine from the inside out. So that's what I do. And I've done it in the form of coaching, one-on-one, and, some small groups and retreats, and kind of over the course of our work together, the method of how I want to work with people has changed. And I've actually gotten more and more clear on the way I want to actually serve more women. So I can talk more about that too. But it's such a gift from our work together.
Thank you. Awesome. I just love what you're doing. And don't be shy of, like, you also have an amazing community of gratituders that I love, that you are a community builder at heart, and you are so magnificent at just like calling in like women and to take a stand for themselves. So I really love that about you. So don't want to be shy about that, because you have thousands of people that before we even started working together that you've really brought into your world and your energy. So yes.
Thank you.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'd love to, I know that we've like met each other like a few years ago, but then we had a conversation together, just seeing what it would be like to work together. And you came with some challenges and struggles and roadblocks that were coming up for you at that time when we had that conversation. So I'd love for you to just tell me about that. Like, what was coming up for you and what was stopping you or blocking you? I'd love to just hear about that.
Yeah. It's so amazing to think about that conversation, which was probably 9 months ago, six months ago.
It was like December, right?
December, yeah. And I just remember feeling like I was in such a dark place. Like I was just confused. I've been in business now for this 3 years. And what had happened right before you and I talked is that I had this moment where I realized that everything that I had wanted when I started my business, 3 years ago, had happened. Like it had happened. And then I was left like kind of wondering, oh, what now? I had only been able to vision what I had visioned at the time. And then once I got to that place, that question was like, oh, but what do I really want? Like, and why did I want those things in the first place? And what do I want now? And so, I had reached over 6 figures in my business. I had a wait list of clients. Like there was like, I could just tell that there was just something, there was like a next phase of my evolution in my business and in myself. And I knew I couldn't do it alone. And I felt like I was at this cross point of, I am either going to have to quit or I'm going to have to like move forward. And in order to be pulled forward, I knew I couldn't do it alone. So like, that's kind of what it felt like. It was like, well, I've kind of done what I think I can do. Like, I'm either going to have to quit or I need some serious support right now. And I remember when we talked, like I ended our conversation in tears, because I was just like, I want to serve. I want to help, like I want to live for my heart. I want to change the world. I want women to feel alive. And like, I just don't know if I can keep doing it in this way. It didn't feel sustainable in the way I'd been doing it. So I think those were probably the biggest challenges, like when you magically reappear in my life.
And I even remember some of the like like, I love how you're sharing, like, it was either quit or get support, but like that was actually one of your blocks too, was actually receiving support. So I'd love to just hear a little bit more about that, because I feel like that's like the biggest theme, and that you were able to kind of transition out of. But I'd love to just hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I love that, right? But like, you know, it's so easy to like not see our blocks. Like, I don't understand, like, why, like, can't I like get more help? And it's like, oh yeah, because I'm not open to receiving. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, Jadah, there's so much that I can say about this, but I mean, you know, part of, I think, the power of our work together and the way you work with people is it's about so much more than our business, right? That it's of course business focused, but what I noticed happened over the course of our work together is that I got to see all the ways that I was blocking having what I wanted. And so I'm super organized and type A, and you know, just like, I came from Wall Street. I'm a firstborn. I'm from Louisiana. Like, you know, it's like, I got this shit figured out. I can do it by myself. Like, you know, I think a lot of business women, at least at first, we have to wear all the hats. We have to do it ourselves. And as my business grew, I couldn't keep doing it by myself. My relationships were suffering. Like, I was burning out. And I think that was part of it. Like, I just can't keep going like this. And so I had to really learn how to receive support, how to let go of needing to be the one to, I guess, control it all or do it all. You know, I mean, I wanted to build a team. Like, you know, I built a team over the past 6 months since we've worked together. Like, I now have this like amazing right-hand assistant who like can support me in doing the things that like I was once up until 2 a.m. doing. I mean, so that's the first piece. And, you know, our relationship, so much of our relationship, you know, working with you, like, you taught me how to receive, like, you know, you being there so much, like you checking in, me being able to check in with you. It's like, I think I got trained on how to reach out for support, which I think is one of the most important things for all of us women. And it was actually a little surprising for me, because like, this is the work that I do. Like, it was surprising for me to see where I was still so guarded when it came to receiving help.
And I love that, because as a coach, a mentor, guide, you know, like, your favorite is when people actually reach out. Like, those become your like rock star clients, because you need that interaction. I can only give you as much as you're willing to reach out and put out those gentle nudges. And just for anyone that's listening, of just like, don't be afraid to ask questions, right? Because when we're asking questions, or I don't understand this, I think as women, you know, we think publicly that people think that we don't know what's going on, or we're not smart enough, or we're not doing enough. So I love that you said like that you were able to like embody how to start asking for support. Because I would reach out, I'd have those gentle nudges, and then you were just on fire of like, I don't know what I don't know. I have these questions, bam, bam, bam. And then like we moved through them so quickly when you get clear on like, what are the questions and what are the blocks. So I love that so much. Curious if there was any, I feel like you've talked about a little bit of it, but like just any limiting beliefs when with us working together.
Yeah. One of the things that was just coming up as you were speaking was what I realized in working with you is that I had this, like, I hadn't found a teacher, a mentor, a friend, a sister, you know, a guide like you that I trusted. Who showed up like so fully. So I want to speak to that part just for a second, just because that's so you. Like, there's something of like, you just have this incredible way of inviting in, of inviting people just to be themselves. It's like, I had no problem learning how to be the student again with you. It felt safe. And I think as business owners, there is that piece that's like, and as coaches, it's like, you know, I'm typically the one people come to. And I know we talk about this a lot, like how much we all need support. Like, I can only support my ladies as much as I'm receiving support. And it trickles up and goes on. And so, you know, I think that was like something that was so profound about our relationship, is like, I got to fill myself up from your love and support and guidance. And then that trickled down like into the business and into the women and into the communities that I want to build. And I guess as that relates to a limiting belief, I guess, oh God, there's so many. There's so many. But the first one I think is like that I have to have it all figured out or something like that. I think there was like a lot of like a lack of humility, I guess, in some way. Like, I'm the teacher. And I learned, like, I don't know what I don't know. Like, I just don't know what I don't know. And I can't pretend that I know what I know. If I want to take my business and my life to the next level, I need to learn from people who have done what I want to do and who have what I want to have. And so that was just like, you. That was the first piece. God, and there's a second that was a really subtle limiting belief that that was actually about money, like money and my kind of independence and relationships. So one of my really subtle limiting beliefs is I can't be a strong, independent woman, like who makes my own money and has my own business and like is autonomous and powerful and be in a loving relationship. Like it's either or. Yeah. So like to have that uncovered over our work together, it's like, oh, like it's not ever just about money or systems or products. It's like, oh, like how am I blocking it before I even started? So I got to really look at kind of those beliefs too and clear them out. Because once that shit's gone, then it's just a matter of showing up, right? Yeah. Like, but yeah, I got to see where I was blocking myself.
I love that. And I think it's like, as soon as those remove, like you're on fire, you're like very clear. And I know part of our practice was always celebrating wins and what's going good and pausing to actually reflect. And so I'd love to hear just during our time together, what are some wins that you would celebrate or results that you experienced?
Oh my God. You know, like I've made kind of my list. Like I'm like, what's happened this year so far? And it's ridiculous. Okay. So, I mean, I'm on track to make double this year what I made last year. So like, I'll just kind of start with that. And I'll say a couple of like actual things and then I'll just talk about me because I'm like you. And I feel like any of the women that ever come to you, it is about love over metrics. And so there's that. So I have a brand new website. I'm building a shop on my website. I'll show you. I've created my own deck of affirmation cards that are coming very soon. I've started writing a book. The Gratitude Circle has 2,000 new people in it over these past 6 months. I have hired an assistant. I've led a retreat. I created, launched, and offered my very first kind of like online program so that I can touch more women, not in person. And that's now like an automated program. But essentially like what has happened is it used to be Julie and like clients. So like time, you know, me, I would have to show up and like, I got, you know, it was me and my time. And now it's like, I have had this space because I've learned to receive support in so many ways. I have had a space to be the visionary, to create. Like I have dozens of products that I've been able to create over the past 6 months that are now just waiting for the right time to like come out. Like, so it's like, I now have a place where like, I have created things that are going to live beyond me that people can purchase and read and interact with. And I don't have to be the one to show up and give it all, which was another huge limiting belief that it had to be me. Yeah. And so I have shifted from like, you know, kind of this, I don't know, I don't want to say smaller, but it was a business that was only able to touch a certain amount of people to now having a business that like has products and services and community. And it's like, I just get to be myself and create and love people up and show up. Yeah. And there's structures in place now to allow me to do that. It's like, I know where the money's coming from. I know where the people are coming from. Like, I'm just not trying as hard. I don't feel like I'm like just doing tasks. I feel like I have the bigger vision for my life and my business now. And then I just get to put one foot in front of the other. but it feels so grounded, and it feels so like I can just see it all.
Yeah.
And before it was like, I can't see anything, I'm gonna have to quit. Right. So it's like, you know, the thousands and thousands of people that I've been able to touch because of our work together is like, it's just, it's beyond, Jadah. I mean, yeah. So those were all the celebrations. The inner celebrations are like, I mean, I say this all the time, like my marriage is better than ever. Like I've started working out again. My body's stronger than ever. It's like, I'm eating better. It's like all the things are coming together in such an incredible way. And it literally started with our conversation back in December.
I love that so much. And just know, like, that's also you committing, like being so devoted to yourself and your dreams and being willing to expand that vision. Like it can't happen without you following through and really taking action on that. So I'm just so proud of you for like trusting yourself to like make it happen, and also to test and experiment. Like I know we flowed through so many different iterations of things, and you just being surrendering to that process. So I'd love to know if there's like any tools or strategies or any work that we did together, whether it was during the retreat or our one-on-ones or the group calls, of kind of what you walked away with or were super helpful for you.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Like, I mean, I'll just start with the calls, just since we just did celebrations. It was like the most beautiful pattern, right? And it's similar to the practice of gratitude that I believe in so much. It's like, but let's just celebrate. I think our minds tend to focus on, you know, negative. So beautiful to start with gratitudes and celebrations all the time. You know, I mean, the retreat, like, whoa. There was something about, I mean, there's a couple of things. I mean, I think one of the things is like structure. I really learned structure, and not structure like force, like have to. Like I love working, this idea of working in 90-minute chunks with 30-minute breaks. Like I love that you incorporate music and dance breaks into everything, like getting into your body and then letting the vision flow. I loved creating like, okay, what are the things that I want to do in these 3 months? Like, what can I do now? Like, having our pie chart of like, you know, what goes on in each quarter to really be able to like, to vision big first, right? And then let it go and then take the actions towards it, which leads me to like the most profound thing I think that you have ever said to me. Well, there's been lots of nuggets, but this is the one that like I just keep saying this. It's like, it's your job, our job, to figure out why and what, and let the how and when unfold. And like just this idea of like, my job is to dream it. It's to hold the vision. It's to not worry about how. It's to take baby steps towards it. And it is to show up and take baby steps towards it, right? It's not like, oh, I've got this vision, like it'll happen one day. It's like, cool, how do I take like loving, concentrated, small action towards that and also let it go? So yeah, I mean, there's just like all that. And I could talk to you for another like half an hour. But those are the things that like immediately pop up.
Yeah, awesome. So if someone else was considering being a part of the mentorship lab and working with me in some way, and they had resistance or just wasn't sure, like I'd love for you to describe who you think that it is for and what you would say to someone who's like, is this for me? Is it not for me?
Yeah, completely. So who I think it's for, like, I mean, I think it's for women who have already reached a certain level of success, right? And kind of like outer metrics of their businesses. It's like, you know, like you're doing it, you've been doing it, it's working, it sort of worked, but you're ready to take it to another level. I mean, I know for me, I was like, I'm ready to touch more people. Like, I'm ready for my life not to be my work, but I'm ready to have work that I love. Like, so it's for women, I feel like, who are at that crossroads point. That's like, they just want to take it to the next level. It's like that leaping point, that have already done it in some ways, but like just want to go to the next level. And I think that could probably be at any point in their business. It's not even a money metric or a client metric. It's just like, if you've reached something, but you know there's something more, right? So it's just like taking it to the next level. And like, I mean, I remember kind of like immediately being like, ooh, this is interesting. But like, I wasn't going to work with somebody this year. And like, do I have money? And do I really need it? Like all those things. But there was something in my heart that was like, yes. Like there was just something in my heart, like deep down, that was yes. Right. And of course there were fears that came up. Right. And I watched my resistance. I was a yes. And then I was a no. And then I was a maybe. And then I was just like, okay, if I'm really still and really listen. And that was the question. It's like, can I do this alone? If I like look at my life the way it's going right now, like, will I be happy if I'm in the exact same place like 6 months from now? And the answer was no. Yeah. And then the question was like, okay, well, who do I want to walk with me? And I had just never met somebody that was like such a heart-centered, like badass businesswoman who was filled and overpouring with love. And who's created something, right, in your own life, in your own business that is different than other models of like business. It's like, no, you can actually lead with your heart. You can actually be yourself, and like that works. So, so if any woman is thinking about this, like, and like you want to take it to the next level, and you realize that you can't do it alone, like, and you're heart-centered, and like you care about the world, and you care about your life, and there's just nobody else, Jadah, like you. So do it. And if there's fear, there's going to be fear. Like, duh, like it would be weird if there weren't fear. You're about to take your life to a new place. That's scary for the brain. And yet, like, just listen to the heart. Like your heart already knows. If you've watched it this long anyways, like your heart already knows. Yeah. So that's my thought.
I love that. Awesome. Is there anything else, just anything additional, like, and this could be complete and we can wrap it here, but if there's anything else you want to share or say about your experience?
Yeah, Jadah, I think like you have this way of being so present and so full of love and bringing this like tenderness to everything that you do. And then there's also this like laser, like no BS, like total visionary in your back pocket. It's like both. It's like you're soft and you're gentle, and you're also like, hard when you need to be. You have this way. This is what I was like so blown away with. I'm like you can just see things. Like you can, and it's inexplicable. Like this is your superpower. Like you just have this way of seeing people, businesses, structures, ideas, visions, and synthesizing it all down. It's like you knew what I was meant to be doing in some ways well before I had come along. And so like you just have this vision. It's like, what's going to work for this person. What's going to work for that person. And it's a gift. It's like you can just take it and synthesize it down. So to be the recipient of that has been so profound, to receive support by someone who I just so deeply admire and trust. And I mean, it's incredible. Like I have no idea where I would be or where my business would be without this work. So I'm just really, really grateful. I was saying this to a friend recently that I think that I will look back on my life and like this year being such a dramatic turning point. Like I can just feel that shift so dramatically. Like it's always a series of things, but I'm like, January, February 2016, like the ship turned. And and it was deeply, deeply, deeply in part, in big part to our work together, due to our work together. So
thank you, Julie. You're amazing. And I just thank you and honor you for like trusting me to just play with you. You were so willing to play a bigger game with your business and your life. And just like I say, I believe that there's a whole woman there is behind every business. So yes, we talk business, we talk strategy, but just, it's the whole picture. It's the all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much. I love you so much, and just honored that I get to share this journey and this path with you.
I love you so much too. Thank you.